We're going to go to Susanne now, and Susanne is from Germany, and she is going to talk to us about her experience of the Dyke marches in Germany, about attending the Dyke marches in Germany and the demo in Bonn. Susanne got into radical feminism very early, knows the queer trans scene very well. It's only thanks to radical feminism that she truly accepted herself as a lesbian and formed politics around that. Susanne wants theory and action to make up equal parts of her feminism. She's a member of LGB Alliance Germany, the feminist party Die Frauen, Tiefgrüne, also of Tiefgrüne Widerstand, which is deep green resistance in progress, and Lasst Frauen Sprechen, the Let Women Speak. She's also part of a network of a growing number of regional rad fem groups, and founded Les Blan Visibility, and of course the real Dyke March, which we're going to hear about. How was this year special for you and lesbians in Germany and everyone?
So how is this year special? This year is special because self-ID is self-ID was announced yet again. Like last time, it was rejected by the Bundestag. It might just pass this time because we have a different government. And this government is very liberal, neoliberal. The Green Party and the FDP is, they both, they were the parties who tried to get self-ID passed the last time around, and it only got rejected because of the coalition that was made up the government last time. So now, I feel like, yes, so this, because they already tried to pass this law, and radical feminists went against it, but this time around we were a little more prepared, and so there's a growing radical feminist resistance in Germany because of the way the government is treating the feminist movement, and because they want to pass this law. So the situation is very heated. There was a huge thing with Marie-Louise Vollbrecht, who is a doctorate, she wants to be a doctor of biology. She's doing this right now, and she wanted to give a talk on just human biology, human sexual dimorphism at her university. The talk was cancelled at first because trans activists protested, and this really made it to through the press. It got really huge, and so they basically failed their no debate approach here in Germany. It's in the press now, people are talking about it. And so the radical feminist movement is growing. So this is the situation right now in Germany, and why this year is really special.
How long have you been going to Dyke marches, and can you tell us about the Dyke marches in Germany, say in the last few years, and then what's changed?
Right, so there are Dyke marches in Germany in several cities. The first city to have a Dyke march was Berlin, and that was a couple of years ago, I think before my time. I'm in my early 20s, and right now there's a network. They're called Dyke March Germany, and they're Dyke marches, they're helping organize Dyke marches in several cities here, and they've been getting more and more queer basically, and they all have stars, asterisks, I think they're called, next to lesbian or dyke in their names, so to signify that men are included as well, and everyone is included, of course. And so last year there already was a confrontation at a Dyke march, and at the Dyke March Cologne at that. But this year things really escalated. After a demonstration organized by the WDI Germany, a group of women-loving women went to the Dyke March, and we had a rainbow flag saying LGB. I had the Labrys flag. I was holding the Labrys flag, and banners with the definition of lesbian on it, a homosexual human female. And yes, we were attacked. I'm actually going to drop a link in the chat to an English translation to what exactly happened at Cologne, at Dyke March Cologne this year. So yes, the Dyke marches have been getting more queer. We were attacked, and after that, we decided, okay, we're not going to take this anymore. We're founding the real Dyke March. That's what we called ourselves. I'm going to explain why in a second. And we're going to go to Dyke March Berlin next. And so we went to the Dyke March Berlin, Dyke March Hamburg, and Dyke March Bremen after that. And we weren't exactly met with warm welcomes. We were attacked again. We were harassed. Yes, they also tried to paint us as fascists, Nazis, right-wing extremists, and so on. But we also got a lot of support, actually, and it got pretty big. One video was shared on Twitter, or was seen on Twitter like 200,000 times worldwide. I think it was the one where it was in Hamburg, I was walking, and then there was this guy who said he has like a feminine soul or whatever, like dressed in drag, and he kept just pestering us and yelling at us and like very male socialized, displaying very male socialized behavior. And like this was seen 200,000 times on Twitter.
What sort of violence, or if any, and trans rights activist protests have there been at Dyke marches? I know you've told us a bit, but could you tell us a bit more about what's happened at the demos and the marches?
Right, so there were 7 of them in total. Like we went to 4 Dyke marches and 3 Christopher Street Days, which are these huge pride parades in Germany and worldwide. And at the first march we went to was the Dyke March Cologne in July. Yes, and what happened basically is we were like, of course, we were told we were being transphobic and problematic, and like we were standing on top of like a bridge. So the Dyke March organizers actually made the effort to come up to us, them and a group we call the Solidarity Team, which we believe were hired by the Dyke March organizers. We don't know, but we believe that's the case, and to basically help them out there. And I was attacked by a man. I was put in a headlock, and I defended myself and was released. But I also suffered like my wrist hurt, and another, like the woman, the lesbian who was holding the LGB flag, she was hit twice. For example, she was hit she took a punch to the throat and to her jaw, and the organizers did nothing. They showed their support to the Solidarity Team that attacked us, and they also made the effort to show their flag, which said basically Dykes with an asterisk for self-determination. So basically for the self-ID law here in Germany. So that was their priority, and also my flag was stolen. Like they stole the leper's flag while I was getting attacked.
Oh, that's so terrible. And did it make you scared to go on future marches, or how did you react to all of it?
Not at all. I did not react with fear at all, I think. I don't know why, but I feel like it really triggered something really powerful in me. Like I already was a radical feminist before that, of course. I already had gone to demonstrations, but at this point I really like I think I'm reading gynecology actually right now, and Mary Daly, like she talks about how her university, how they were treating her, and she said like how it really like it triggered her. What did she call it? She's using the special language, like her intergalactic spiraling journey.
Yeah.
I'm reading the German version. Yeah, and that's actually exactly how I felt. I felt like I was just I felt so powerful for some reason. I felt so angry and so powerful. And I was just like, okay, let's go, let's do this. We're going to the other Dyke marches. They're not going to get rid of us. And in Dyke March Berlin, we were protected a little by the police, which helped a lot. So they couldn't really do anything. They still tried to attack us. And there were several police reports filed. And in Hamburg, we were attacked again because the police didn't help us, because the Dyke March organizers had talked to Hamburg police beforehand. We suppose, we don't know. But so basically they didn't help us. They actually threatened us, or I felt threatened by them. They pushed us like the police. And one of us was hit and scratched. And then we went to Bremen, which was a little less eventful, but we were also, yes, we were excluded from the Dyke March. That's actually called a trans-inter-Dyke March with 2 asterisks in the name in Bremen. And actually, they actually admitted that there is no Dyke March in Bremen. There's just a trans-inter-Dyke March.
What's the real Dyke March planning and other groups you're in?
We're planning some pretty big things. I'm not going to go into detail until everything is sorted out, but we're definitely coming back next year and maybe the year after that, and who knows how long. Maybe it will become an international thing, but basically we're going to show up at their marches, and we might do our own marches in the future, and we will reclaim the word Dyke, which this is really important to me. So the Dyke has a translation in German, Kampflesbe, which basically translates to fighting lesbian. It's an insult, but I think it's a word. I don't know. I think it's a positive thing, a lesbian who fights for her rights and who is not loved or accepted by men, and who will say no to men and defend this no. And I don't think.
I mean, it's forced upon us, the camp, the struggle. It's if we were allowed to just get on with whatever gardening or whatever we want to do, looking after the planet or whatever, then you wouldn't have to struggle. We only struggle because of the oppression against us. So,
right. So basically, I don't think the Dyke marches we have right now qualify for this. Not only because of the lack of dykes, because of the lack of lesbians, but also because they are not saying no to men. They're not defending the boundaries. They're not acting in a feminist way. They have no or little solidarity with women or feminist consciousness. So that's why we are the real Dyke March, and we are a radical feminist lesbian group. And we're going to the Dyke marches.
How easy is it for young lesbians to network and find each other through all this queer sort of muddle that means probably it's very difficult to actually meet each other? Or do you find it is possible? How does that work?
It's horrible. There's no way for lesbians to really find each other and to associate, because not only because our spaces are flooded with men, predatory men, also because we're actively prevented from organizing as lesbians. And we're also prevented, we don't even have the language. We're not given the language we need to to describe and find ourselves and each other in queer spaces. I remember at the Dyke March Berlin, there was a woman, a trans activist woman, who came up to me. She wanted to tell me how I was being transphobic because we had the definition of lesbian on a banner. But actually, after a conversation with me, she started crying and telling me she felt the same, but basically didn't have the language to describe what she was feeling, like her homosexuality. So that's we need these radical feminist spaces to find each other. And then there I actually met some really cool lesbians, but before that I really thought I was the only lesbian in the world. And luckily, the old radical feminist and lesbian literature, that also really saved me. I think that's this time window, this connection to other lesbians. Yeah, but the queer spaces, they are horrible. They're lesbophobic and actively hostile towards us. So there's no future for lesbians in these spaces.